50% less in practice this year. And you say, well, maybe that's why y'all won't have as many games as y'all usually do. Let me tell you, there is a major difference in my profession in college coaching between a bad recruiting year and a bad coaching year. We had a very bad recruiting year. Coaching, we shouldn't have won any of the games in our conference. We were by far and away the least talented team. And so it was actually a pretty good coaching year. There's a difference between that. And you guys know that too. I mean, some of y'all's best coaching years were, like Jerry said, they won 18 games, but I felt like that was about as good as they could do. We won 32 the year before, but I did a lot better this year than I did the year before. I mean, I really did. I can look back on it. But anyway, PGC has helped me talk a lot less. Chatter versus relevant info. Reminders, again, name first on the reminders. 2 positives per minute. Try that. What a great goal. We gave this to your athletes. If they could do this, that's tough. 2 positives per minute. And it's not easy to use someone's name before you say what you're going to say. If we had time, I'd have you do a little exercise where you try it, where you try to say the name every time you say something to someone. That is far more difficult than it looks. And 2 reminders per minute. The T is tone. 90, sometimes not what you say, but how you say it. 93% of all communication is nonverbal. Leadership isn't yelling and telling. And the E stands for eye contact. Laser-like eye contact. Great coaches demand eye contact. I would suggest that you not ever start anything until you have great eye contact. We talked about them in the classroom, having eye contact with their teachers. When their teacher finishes their statement, okay guys, turn to page 684, and then you give the teacher a head nod. That is a great way to let the teacher know you are locked in to what they're saying. It's a great way for them to know, for you to know they're locked into what you're saying, is a head nod. Body language. So important. 93% of all communication is nonverbal. This is a great little. We gotta roll. All right, hustle is H. Leading by example is important. Hustle is contagious, as we know. Again, these are 6 intangibles. It's very rare that anyone's going to get all 6 of them. If you have someone who will do all 6 of these, you've got a special player. I can think of one guy who's ever had all 6 of these for me. Elmar Kulizade, who played here a few years ago. He's the only one. Brandon, you remember him? He had all 6. You never saw him, did you? He'd have lit you up. I don't care how long and athletic you are. He was crafty. Sheepdog mentality. What is a sheepdog? Sheep are dumb. They just kind of follow each other around. Well, a sheepdog is constantly getting people in where they're supposed to be. 2 or 3 sheep are about to go off a ledge. That sheepdog runs and gets them back in line. And he never stops. A sheepdog never stops. A stands for approach. Approach is basically your attitude. The path you use to arrive at your destination. 3 rules of successful approach. Show up early. Learn something every day. And add value to your organization. I would encourage you to have principles and commitments rather than rules. A commitment is, I'm going to show up early to every game. I'm going to show up early to every practice. A rule is, be there 15 minutes early. And I would encourage your athletes to have their own commitments to the team. One of the things we told them yesterday was, I would have them make commitments. I would encourage them to make commitments for this week. Have your older kids or even you be in there. I think that's a wonderful way for them to take ownership in what they are doing. Like I've got a commitment this week. I've got a commitment to get to know you first. Y'all are my first priority this week. Coaches first, athletes second. But when I'm with the athletes, my commitment is to coach them like they are my team. That's my commitment for this week. I would be a great way for you to get more out of this week is if you have them make commitment statements. I'm committed to bringing energy. I'm committed to high fives. I'm committing to giving 3 PPMs per game. That's a great way to get something out of this week. We do it at the beginning of the year. We did it for the summer. For example, I had our guys, I said, text me or tell me one thing you're going to get 50% better than you were over the summer. 50% better. I don't want 10 things, I want one thing. And if you get 1% better every day, then you're going to get significantly better at that. So for example, we had some of our guys say, I'm going to be a better ball handler, I'm going to be a better pull-up jump shooter. I just wanted one thing. And everyone knows that commitment that they've made, and everyone will know if they didn't work at it to get better in the fall. You see the accountability commitment brings? It makes them take ownership into what is going on with your team. Mental toughness, what you choose to put your focus on. Petty problems versus being noble-minded. Some petty problems are, and gosh, we hear so many things like this. Coach, the ball's flat, the floor's slick, the locker room's hot, the water tastes like it's got salt in it. Fouls. We're going to talk more about fouls this week. You got bad officiating this week. So the mentally tough team, that's a good thing because it's going to be bad on both sides. So a mentally tough team, they're going to say, hey, bad officiating, all right. 3 or 4 years ago, we had an 8 a.m. game at the national tournament. I was like, that's great. That's good for us because we're tough enough to handle that. They're going to still be asleep. And thank goodness they were because we got up 20 and won by 2. So anyway, how do you respond to fouls? Precision. Precision is discipline. Let me get back. Even if it's uncomfortable, if it's inconvenient. Ridiculous attention to detail. We tell the story to them about if you're having open heart surgery, do you want someone who is a little bit slack, or do you want someone who pays ridiculous attention to detail? They get you cut open and you're having heart surgery, we want somebody. How about an eye doctor? LASIK surgery. I mean, I'm telling you, I want some guy, if he's going to do my eyes, which I need to get done, I want a guy with ridiculous attention to detail. So why can't we be that as athletes? Enhance, do you enhance the environment? Looks like I'm locked out of that. Sorry about that. I can give it to you. Unless, Jim, you can figure it out. You can't get it figured out in 2 seconds. It's all right.